And ahoy everybody, what is up? It is me, Aquilius Epic, and I am glad to have you here today. Thank you very much for tuning into this video. Now for a change, the gameplay footage you see in the background is actually not being played in real time. You'd probably realise that because my microphone sounds much better than it does when I'm recording on my phone. No, today is a day where I want to change a bit of my content. Until now, I've mostly uploaded gameplay videos of themselves. Essentially little let's plays of mobile games, because as of now my computer system is not good enough to actually record decent gameplay footage. So in my mindset I always go for what I can actually achieve with what I already have. However, as of late I've thought that to be rather cringeworthy, and I do want to take my content more seriously than I have in the past, which is why I'm going to change the format up a little bit now. As of this is my first actual Epic app review. Yes, a proper review video, believe it or not. I am going to be reviewing an app you can actually see running in the background, and you would have known what app it is if you would have read the title of this video. Yes, I am reviewing Pubg Mobile, but it's actually the official name of the game now if you look for it on the App Store. Pubg Mobile, short for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Mobile, was released on the 20th of March 2018 by the developer Tencent, a major Chinese mobile game developer. The current version I'll be reviewing is version 0.13.0, with a rating as 4.5 stars on the Google App Store as of the 20th of June 2019, which is the day I'm recording this review. So if you want to find out more about this game, and if you actually want to hear my opinion on it, stick right around, because I'll actually be doing a proper review video. I said that a few times now, but I'm sorry, I'm slightly excited, okay? This is the first actual proper review I am considering doing. Now, I split my review videos into 5 different categories. First of all, I'll talk a little bit about the performance of the game itself, then I'll talk about the graphics and the design of the game, the story and or content after that, then price and Godspeed microtransactions after that, and I then end off the actual review part with my personal preferences and if I have some sort of bias to the game, which, spoiler alert, I do. I like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Mobile. But let's not jump the gun here, let us actually start at the beginning. So, the game's performance itself. Note that I play the game on a Samsung Galaxy S6, which is by far not a flagship model of the day. However, in my opinion, being able to review the apps on the lower end of the spectrum essentially gives it more potential to grow and actually improve with newer devices, essentially. It is surprising for me at all that my phone can actually run the game as good as it does, as the game is rather big. It has a lot of content to run, and the fact that my phone can run it smoothly for the most of the time is already quite a big plus in my book. I generally play on the EU server because I'm European, so my connections are actually quite stable as well. Now I have heard claims that, especially in the Asian servers, that may not be the case. However, I have not connected to those servers and I cannot review that. This is, as I said, a more personal take. But if you have your own opinions about any of my points to bring up in my reviews, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll gladly read them and incorporate them in the future. The biggest down point of the game itself at the minute is that it has an incredibly large battery drain. I've had instances before where a single game would drain up to 30% of my phone's battery. Note a single game can take up to 30 minutes at a time, or longer, but 30% for a single game is not acceptable for me. However, that has to do with the technical aspects of the game, so I see where it's coming from. However, it just does not reflect good on the performance. Considering this game is trying to pander to everyone, essentially, making everybody able to join and play the game, a such broad spectrum of performance differences between higher end and lower end devices is also quite an issue. One might argue that a person with a better device would have a larger advantage in the competitive multiplayer scene. Now, of course, that is also an issue with PC gaming, essentially. I have that issue all the time, believe me, but it's just a point I wanted to bring up here as well. The graphics and design of the game themselves are actually not too bad, especially once you are in-game. There are some very good 3D models, in fact, as this is a first and third-person shooter. One could even compare them to the very lowest end of PC graphics in some respects. However, whereas the 3D models are great, in my opinion, there is definitely work to improve on certain textures. at least at the lower settings that I was able to review in, because funnily enough, I could not even increase my graphics settings beyond HD, so if anyone else can correct me on that, please, as said before, note that down in the comments. But on lower settings, the textures are kind of meh, but that's still serviceable, but there is still room for improvement in that regard. However, credit where credit is due, the 3D model of the guns, vehicles, and player characters are actually not too bad for a mobile game. My biggest gripe with the design of this game, however, is the extremely confusing UI, at least in the main menus. On the screen now, you will see a screenshot of the main menu, and for every tab you can click on, which has sub-tabs and stuff to click on in there, I'm gonna do a big fat... So enjoy. Wonder how long this section will actually take. Now let's actually head over to the worst aspect of this game, in my opinion, which is surprising.
The game is available for free, and that's a great price.
As viewers of PewDiePie will know, the amount of crap you can buy in that game, and I mean utter crap, like extremely useless kind of stuff, is outrageous in my opinion. And I'm not just talking about the Season Pass, which is already an issue in itself. There's just so much to buy in that game. I understand the reasoning for wanting to customize your character. However, when the majority of those purchases are done through loot boxes, may I add, or extremely overpriced cosmetic items, that is where I draw the line. If you want to buy this kind of stuff, you can use your money however you want to. However, that does not do for a good point on my personal review. Just to put things in perspective, the price range of purchasable item, as put on the Google Play Store homepage for PUBG Mobile, ranges the prices of items from 89 euro cents to up to 204.99 euros. Yes, more than 200 euros for an in-game item. I cannot even imagine what that is, because I generally am too poor to even consider that kind of nonsense, but if you have money to spend on that, go ahead, buddy, I ain't gonna stop you. But no, that does not do a good point on my review of the microtransactions and pricing of the game, not at all. But to get to the good part again, I can now start talking about the content of the game itself. And I will say that there's a ton to do. It's obviously a battle royale game, so you should be into battle royales if you are actually looking for a decent experience. I've played the game pretty much since it's been released in Europe, and I've seen the game actually go through different versions as well, so I'm actually pleased to say that there's a huge variety of game modes these days, with the latest being the new 4 vs 4 mode, as introduced in the latest version, as of recording today. And not just game modes, no. Cars. There are guns. All very decently modeled, as I said earlier. There is a lot of stuff to do. Maps have been introduced. More maps are being introduced. There are event game modes, like the zombie game modes, or the Mission Impossible crossovers. The game keeps itself active and keeps itself fresh, bringing in new content with every update, so that is commendable. Oh, did I mention the training room already? The training room is so cool. You can sit there, chill, blow cars up, without actually killing people. It's a very nice addition to the game as well. So, definitely a huge plus for the content aspect of this game, as there is quite a bit to do. Now the end of this video does come down to my personal preference as well, where I do give this game a lot of bonus points, because I personally do like the Battle Royale genre, especially in the way that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is portraying it essentially, and how they manage the game, and their graphical style, gameplay itself, grittiness essentially. I personally have a huge liking for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I would definitely play the PC version if I had a PC which was good enough to do that. How often have I mentioned I've had a bad PC in this video? Let me know in the comments below if anyone's been counting. But it is generally also a faithful adaptation of the PC version of the game itself. Not to mention, you have to give this game credit for being an extreme case of cultural phenomenon, especially in the Asian community. Now, of course, that is not a community I can actually relate to, nor am I going to be associated with. However, you must give the game credit where it deserves it. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is my final verdict on PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Mobile, or PUBG Mobile. With me personally, giving it a solid rating of 4 stars. But what do you think? Do you agree with my review? Do you not? Do you have anything to add? Any gripes? Let me know in the comments below. Oh, I love that rhyme. You know what else I love? I love my epic Patreon supporters who are actually keeping me motivated to record stuff. So thank you very much to you guys, especially Zeke Yaga, get your name spelled correctly, mate, Mr. Zudor, and Mootpoot. Very cool people indeed, thank you very much. And more very cool people are actually the influx of new subscribers I've been getting lately, so hey guys, thank you very much for checking out this video. Maybe we'll actually get to 500 in some point soon. I will leave the bullet points of this review on the actual Google store page, so you can actually like them, thumbs up them, however it works on that page. I'll figure that out after I've done this recording. So yeah, this is my opinion on PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds Mobile. Thank you all so much for watching. If you do want more, feel free to check out the end cards. If you want to see PUBG Mobile gameplay, go the galore. If you want more of my silliness, got plenty of that as well. And if you actually want to consider how War of the Worlds would be if it were a game, yes, a plug for the last video I did before uploading this, you can see that in the end cards as well. And you should, because this video is over now. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay epic, because that is how I will see ya in the next video. You can click on the end cards now. Bye. Bye! Bye. Bye.